Welcome back to Module 2, Lesson number 4. Today we're going to cover a topic that a lot of people don't know how to do, but they know it can help them increase their sales. This is diving into the world of PPC, which stands for pay per click. This simply means, you know those little sponsored products that you see roll up on an Amazon sales page? They are paying a certain amount of cents per click to get those spots up there. A lot of people have a misconception that you are only supposed to be running PPC campaigns on products that are private label or wholesale. Big myth. I'm gonna show you how you can run an affordable campaign on your retail arbitrage, your wholesale, your online arbitrage, or your private label products. I'm gonna show you the exact strategy we have been using for the last 4 months on our entire store. No matter if it's one product I bought from Walmart or if it's something I bought wholesale and I bought 500 units of. I am running one store-wide campaign on all of it. And I'm gonna show you the results that it has produced. I'm gonna show you how you can set yours up as well. Let's dive over to the computer, show you how to do it. Now, before I dive in and show you the specifics about setting up a campaign for PPC, I want to show you what the end result is looking like from the customer perspective. When you run PPC, your product is going to show up as sponsored. This actually comes up in 2 different spots. I'm going to show you what those are. All right, so I'm going to come up here and let's search for camera mount. Now, as you can see, these first 2 spots are usually dedicated for sponsored items. This means these guys are running a PPC campaign for certain keywords that is getting them to rank up and be in these spots right here. This means that they currently have the buy box, they're paying for PPC, Amazon is rotating them through these sponsorships. And this is why PPC can be so powerful, because if you have inventory that you want to get moving, especially old inventory that's been sitting around a while, you can start to claim these top spots so customers start to see those. Now, if we click on one of these, and this doesn't matter which item you click on, you can click on any item at all. And if you scroll down, you're going to get to another section of the listing, sponsored products related to this item. And here's another spot where these are all sponsored people who are running PPC campaigns. These are currently in the buy box and they're being rotated through these spots. Now, when you run PPC, you can't tell Amazon where you want to show up. They're going to rotate you through, whether it's through this bottom section here or back on that first page on the top 2 spots, wherever they best feel it's going to fit. So that is what the end result looks like. These are a couple spots you can show up as sponsored product. I just wanted to have you know where your products are going to be shown at. So now we can dive in and show you how to set this up. So from your Seller Central, we are going to go up to our advertising slot right here, campaign manager. So here is your basic campaign manager. This is going to be throwing out a bunch of numbers and a bunch of graphs and squiggly lines and all that stuff. Let's break it down and show you how it works. Number 1 thing that you need to understand about running PPC is this term right here, ACOS. As you can see, this stands for advertising cost of sales. This is the percentage of the total sale that was spent on advertising. So in this case, 13.3% of our whole average out of all the campaigns that we've run right here, our average ACOS, which is 13.3%, which is pretty good. It's not excellent. Obviously, the closer to number 1, the better, but it's been pretty good. And this is just saying for every $100 that was produced in a sale, I was spending $13.3 on advertising spend. Now, obviously, if this number were going to be 30 or 40%, that would not be good because you're spending $30 or $40 to produce $100 in sales. So again, we want to try to get this number as low as we can. And this is just going to be based on all the campaigns that we have ran, which have not been a lot. Like I said, we've been running campaigns for about 4 months. I'm going to show you the results from this one specific campaign that I was referring to. But if you want to see everything that we've done, we have spent $2,100 on total campaigns, which has produced almost $16,000 in sales. All right, and so right here, obviously I have to blur out because I have my actual product names and the different brands I'm carrying for each of these. So I have a couple wholesale SKUs that I'm running different campaigns on. As you can see, I've got 3 right now that are active, but I'm gonna show you the primary one that I am referring to and has been one of my favorite ones to mess around with. This one is simply gonna be called my Storewide. I'm calling this one my Storewide Campaign because I am running this on my entire store. It doesn't matter if it's a wholesale product I have several units of, or if it's one item I picked up from Walmart. Everything gets put on this list. And like I said, I've been running this campaign since October, so you can see that I have spent a total of $875, which sounds like a lot of spent money until you realize because of that money spent, it produced $6,200 in sales. And that ACOS number again was just shy of 14%, which I'm good with. And again, that's basically going to be every $14 I spend is producing $100 in sales. So if I scroll down, you can see a little bit more of what's going on here. Now, I think a big misconception that I had when I first started getting into PPC, I didn't want to do PPC because I just heard it cost a lot of money, which can be true depending on how you are using it. Since we are just going to use a basic store-wide campaign using automated keywords, you can run this fairly cheap. So there's going to be 2 spots I'm going to point out to you. Number 1, when you set this up, I would recommend start out, I have 10 cents. I would actually recommend if you just want to start getting your foot in the door, start out with a 5-cent bid. This is saying if my product is in a sponsored spot and a customer clicks on it, I'm willing to pay 5 cents for that click. That's not guaranteeing a sale, but that's just saying you're willing to spend 5 cents per bid or per click. And then here under campaign settings, you can put your total budget for the entire day. I personally put $20. I have never once hit that $20. When I first did this and someone told me to set up $20 on my campaign, I thought I'm not going to spend 20 bucks a day. I just don't want to. And I realized that would take a lot of clicks for it to actually rack up to $20. But if you want to be on the conservative side, you can just put 10 bucks to start with. And this is something you can check every single day so you can make sure that you're not going to be spending way more than you anticipate. So when you set up your campaign, this is basically what the setup is going to look like. I just title mine Storewide because I know that all products I send into Amazon FBA get automatically put on here. I'm going to put $20 as my daily budget, and then I'm also going to have my personally 10 cents, but you can do 5 cents for your bid. So let's break this down and go one step further to show you a more itemized breakdown of specific products and how they were performing. Because again, these numbers that you're seeing right here are based on all 1,256 products that have been run through this. So I'm gonna click on Storewide, which brings me to my campaign. So here we are on our actual breakdown, and obviously because I have some of these that are still active, I'm going to blur out my actual products, but I can still show you the breakdown. Now I did filter these down to total sales being the highest ones first to show you a few examples of how this has been working for us. Now this one product I had right here, I only sold 4 of them. I spent $32.95 on advertising fees for this, but it produced $221 in sales for me. These were a fantastic find for us. They obviously produced a great amount of money for only 4 units. Great margins were on this one. 14.9% is what our ACOS was for that. Next one down, we spent $6.70 to advertise. We had 2 orders. And again, we didn't spend $6.70 for 2 clicks. We were at the time running 5-cent clicks, and we got enough clicks to rack up to $6.70 total, but we only had 2 orders. So again, clicks do not equal orders. But based on those 2 orders that did go through, that $6.70 produced $166 in sales for us on those 2. And as you guys can see, we had an awesome 4% ACOS on that one. Same story with this next one. We spent $246 in advertising costs. We have sold 3 of them, and it produced almost $165 for a 1.49% ACOS. And the next one you see here says delivering, and I'll explain the difference between ineligible and delivering. Ineligible either means in some of these instances we have sold out, we have no more in stock, but in another case you may not be rotated in the buy box, and that is a crucial tip for running a PPC campaign. You will never pay for any clicks on anyone else's products, because let's say you have 10 sellers on a listing. If you are running PPC, you are never going to pay for the other 9 sellers on that listing. You only pay for a click when you are rotated in the buy box. So when you have the buy box and your item shows up as sponsored and someone clicks on it, that's when you pay the amount of cents that you bid. That's the amazing part about it, is you're never gonna pay unless someone actually clicks on your item when it's in the buy box. So when you see a green delivering, that means that the ads are out. This is in buy box, currently rotating through. This was another one. We spent $8.43, produced 16 sales. This was a wholesale product, so we still have many of these left. Produced $150, almost $158, 5% ACOS. Those are all great. Let me show you a not so great one. This one, we spent $63.90 to get 6 orders to make $153 in sales. Now, of course, sales is a gross number. After our fees, our shipping, and our buy costs, we're pretty much breaking even on that number. So that had a 41.54% ACOS. Again, the higher this number is, the worse it's doing. So once I paid attention, I started watching this after the first 3 sales. I decided to let it run a couple more weeks, and next thing you know, we had 6 sales, $63.90. So I said, nope, we're done. And luckily we had sold out, so I didn't have to worry about taking this off right away. But if you do see that happen, you can just go in and remove some of these if you need to. And as we scroll down, it's gonna be the same story over and over. We spent $23.49 on that product, sold 3 of them, made $144.25 in sales, 16% ACOS. And that's basically it. I want to keep this video very short and sweet. There is a lot more you can do with PPC. Once you get into targeting keywords and targeting manual campaigns, there's a lot more in-depth tutorials you can learn doing that stuff. But for now, I think most of you are probably in the retail or online arbitrage space, or even getting into wholesale. And if you just run a store-wide cheap PPC campaign, you are going to see sales increase. I right here have been running this for 4 months myself. I wanted to run our own campaigns before I made a video about it for this reason, because I wanted proof to show like, hey, this worked for us. Set yours up too. Keep an eye on it, run it for a couple weeks, and then let me know how it goes. Hopefully that helped clear things up when it comes to running a basic PPC campaign for yourself. Now I challenge you to go set this up right now. You're done with the video now. Go set up your PPC. Again, just run a cheap 5-cent bid for a daily budget of $10 or $20, depending how much you want to put into this. Your products that are going to be buy box eligible are going to be rotated through that sponsorship spot. You're going to see clicks come through. You're going to pay for some of those, and then you're going to see some sales come in, and hopefully this happens for you. You're going to see more sales because you're running those ads. And this is where you have to get out of the mindset of wasting money or spending money like it's leaving and it's never coming back. Because if I would have seen this even 6 months ago before I started doing this, I would have thought, why would I spend $875 on ads when I can go buy more product with that? Well, because I did invest in those ads, it brought back way more. So that's just a mindset thing to really wrap your head around, is you are investing for a future return, which right there shows it worked for us. Aside from that, thanks for tuning in to lesson number 4 of module number 2. We will see you in the next one.